Hello, I'm Melissa Downs and I'm here to talk to you on behalf of KidSafe. KidSafe is an independent, not-for-profit organisation dedicated to the prevention of unintentional injury in children. Or simply, KidSafe's role is to support parents to help keep kids safe. And the statistics are alarming. Each year, around 75 of these cases will result in death and many thousands will be left with short or long-term disability or scars. But there is help and resources we parents can make use of to avoid such incidents. It's our job to identify the hazards and risks that our little ones face and act to protect them. It's something we need to start thinking about even before your baby is born. Let's begin by looking at how we will be safely transporting baby in the car. Children under 6 months must legally be restrained in an approved rearward-facing child restraint. There are a variety of car seats or restraints to choose from, including rearward-facing baby capsules and convertible options. Whatever you choose, it is important for you to read the manual for your specific restraint and make sure it complies with Australian standards. Up until very recently, there was no restraint specifically designed to safely transport premature and low birth weight babies. But now there is. The Britax Safe and Sound Unity Infant Carrier Child Restraint has a specific harness configuration that now makes it safer to transport 2-kilogram babies. Let's hear from an expert about why this is so important and what we should be aware of in transporting these little babies.
If your baby is born prematurely or underweight, it's quite probable that they're much smaller than other babies when you first take them home, probably somewhere between 2 and 3 kilos. So buying or hiring a car restraint that properly fits smaller babies is really important. A standard restraint might be too big for your baby. The harness may be too wide between the shoulder blades, and the distance between the shoulder harness and the crotch strap may be too long for the baby's body length. This means that they may not be held securely enough.
It's also important for you to read the manual for your car to ensure you install your seat correctly using the appropriate anchor points.
Just pop the seat in the car.
When placing the seat or capsule in the car,
I want to check that the angle is nice and reclined for Bubby.
45 degrees from level is the ideal angle at which baby should be positioned. You may need to use towels under the seat, depending on the configuration of your car, to ensure this is achieved.
We've got a nice flat surface for it to sit on.
To secure the restraint, feed the adult seatbelt through the back of the restraint.
So we're going to hold it together like so. We're going to go underneath our hooks and we're going to buckle it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean on the seat and I'm going to pull our seatbelt really nice and tight. I'm going to pull it back towards us now. So we're nice and firm where our seatbelt goes across. And I'm going to hold our seatbelt to the tension that we want it, and I'm going to release it from our seatbelt.
Some seats and capsules will require the use of an additional locking clip or gated buckle to secure the seat.
The trick is getting that tension first and then release.
Yeah, so then it's pretty much turning this into a lap belt, so it's not going to move now. Buckling it back in now that it's really tight.
And ensure you follow the blue markings indicated on your specific model.
We're going to buckle it back in.
A tether strap is a legal requirement in Australia, and your seat or capsule must have one. The tether hooks onto your car's specified anchor point. Always place the hook over the anchor point, not under.
Okay, so now we're going to put our capsule in.
There's no legal requirement that car seats need to be fitted by a professional, and you should be aware that there's no legal requirement for third parties to be trained before promoting themselves as being fitters.
Around the top, sort of through our handles.
Ensure it's fastened securely, but not too tight. You don't want the strap to be so tight it pulls the seat upwards.
We're just going to pull our excess towards the back of the vehicle. I like to keep one hand on the top. Pull the strap there. We just want to make sure we've taken the slack out of it, so it's got really nice play.
Okay.
A little bit tighter.
So not too tight though.
So we're going to push both our grey buttons on either side and down.
KidSafe's fully trained professional staff do offer checks and fittings if you're worried, or you can simply call one of the statewide KidSafe staff should you have any questions about safely fitting your chosen seat. Securing baby correctly in an appropriate restraint is just as important as fitting the seat itself.
The correct placement of the baby in the restraint is critical. The baby's shoulder must be aligned with the harness where it comes out of the hard plastic. Feel through the padded insert. We want the harness straps to come out of the restraint just at the baby's shoulder and not below or too high above their ear. Small babies are even more vulnerable than bigger babies to temperature instability and airway compression. This means that you need to take even more care when you're transporting them home. Dress them with only one more light layer than you are wearing. Remove the swaddle so that their arms and legs are free and the harness can work effectively. When you place the baby in the restraint, check whether their head and neck is in a straight line with their back. They may need a light cloth placed flat behind the back underneath the car seat cover. This will keep the baby's back at the optimum 45-degree angle from level ground. The crotch strap needs to be properly adjusted to prevent the baby from slipping down into a potentially dangerous curled C position. In this position, the buckle can sit over the baby's tummy and the head can tuck forward and obstruct breathing.
It's up to you to ensure your little one's safety. Remove beanies, mittens and booties, and it's also wise to check their clothes for any loose threads, drawstrings or alike that could become dangerous to them while they're strapped in their seat. There should be nothing additional in the seat, no toys, blankets or extra padding. Buckle baby in the seat according to the manufacturer's instructions and make sure to tighten harness straps appropriately. Babies are delicate, but you don't want the straps too loose. You should be able to fit 2 fingers only under the straps and it should feel firm.
Something to control side-to-side head movement is useful. You can use the fabric head roll that comes with the restraint. Don't place anything behind the baby's head though, as this will bend the neck forward. Check on their colour and temperature every 30 minutes whilst in the restraint and don't leave them in the restraint for more than an hour at a time.
Make sure when baby is in the seat, they're positioned at that ideal 45-degree angle facing the rear of the car. Connect and tighten the tether strap, ensuring it's securely fastened and the seat is sitting correctly in the car.
If you can, have an adult travel in the back with the baby, especially on the first trip home. Car restraints are only to be used for travel, so on a long trip, stop frequently and allow baby to cool down, kick around and feed. If you are transporting medical equipment like monitors and oxygen cylinders, it's important to secure these properly in the car so that they don't become a missile. You should ask your oxygen supplier for advice about this.
You are now ready to take baby home. Arriving at home for the first time, and it's a whole new world for you and your baby. If you have a capsule-style baby seat, you will be able to transport the capsule out of the car with Bub snugly inside. But while baby will sleep comfortably in the capsule, it's not a recommended safe sleeping environment for them. Babies need to lie flat to have their airway in the optimal position for sleeping. Curling up with their chin towards their chest, as in a capsule or in some slings, can reduce breathing over longer periods, particularly when they're asleep.
Come here. Oh, Bobby.
When at home or out and about, if you choose to use a baby carrier, you need to be aware of their safety. There are no regulations for baby pouches or slings, so it's up to you to know the risks. Baby should be carried in an upright position, with their mouth and nose uncovered, head close enough to kiss and fully supported under the bottom and back. Cradle carriers, where babies are lying curled on their back or on their sides, are not recommended as they can restrict breathing. It's essential to monitor your baby and to not have them restrained in any one position for an extended period of time, like the car capsule. A good rule of thumb is no longer than an hour in a pouch or carrier. Safe sleeping is an essential consideration when you're at home with baby, and here are a few safe sleeping guidelines. Use a cot that meets Australian standards. No quilts, doonas, pillows, sheepskin or soft toys in the cot. It's important to note there are no Australian standards for co-sleepers or bassinets, so a cot meeting the Australian standards is the safest option. You can use a sleeping bag with fitted neck but no hood. Make sure baby does not overheat. Use a firm mattress that fits snugly into the cot with a firmly fitted sheet. Put baby to sleep on their back. Make sure baby's head remains uncovered while sleeping. Do your research to ensure the safety of your little one. Beware that just because a cot is sold in Australia, it doesn't mean it complies with Australian standards. So it's up to you to check things like the gap between vertical rails, which should be from 50 to 95 millimetres, the height of the sides, which should be at least 500 millimetres above the base of the cot, and the mattress firmness. Another tip for new parents is to avoid using a mattress protector. A firm mattress allows baby to breathe when they roll. However, with a waterproof mattress protector, a seal can be formed around the baby's mouth and nose, so it's best to leave them off. And please make sure no one smokes around your baby. It's up to you to ensure your little one's safety. If you ever have any questions, it's KidSafe's mission to make a safer world for kids. So call the office with any concerns or book a time to come in and speak to an experienced team member. Whether it's questions about products or play equipment, KidSafe is always on hand and ready to help. So best to be sure and get it right.